But you may want to just take everything off. Of course, I'm talking metaphorically, okay? Not literally. You can do that if you want to, but I'm talking metaphorically. Your internal guidance system will tell you. And it's not easy. It is scary as fuck. But the more you do it, the more empowered you are to do it. And if it scares you, good. That means you're willing to grow.
There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love. Welcome to peace. Welcome to our community. Be who you are. Let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite.
You are welcome here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and good day to you wherever you are at this very moment in time. You are truly welcome here. And as I welcome you to my space, my circle, my heart, my truth, I want to welcome you to the place in you that is love, that is peace, that has all the solutions to all your challenges, all the answers to all your questions. The part of you that is constantly dropping clues and ideas and insight on your path. I welcome you to that place. I stand for and with you that you may recognize that space and that place regularly on a daily basis, that you may live from that space so that you can live your voice, stand in a place of agency, because you are the one creating your reality. You are the one responsible for your reality. And the journey of your life, the story of your life will be evaluated by you. So whatever you say it is what it is. So I stand with you and for you that you are calling your life good, and very good. Because you are one with the Creator. You are one with the One. You are one with the Divine. Welcome to another episode of Being You. The journey back to yourself. The capital S, self. Thank you for taking the time to tune in, as always, to listen and to give yourself permission to be transformed. I am Ade, your beingness artist. I don't know, that always still cracks me up. I am your transformational artist as well as your transformational agent. I just got all these names and I just love calling them. I feel like I am what we call in Nigeria, particularly the Yoruba language, Oriki, which is a way where Ori is your head. Ori is consciousness. Ori is your destiny. Ori is your awareness. So Oriki is when they're speaking to your consciousness, and every family has their own unique. I think he has another name, but I think it's called Oriki. You're Ade, the son of so and so, and it just goes on. And I know when I hear it, just so. What is it? Tushoku. I don't know why I'm saying it to you, because, well, only if you're Yoruba would you understand what I'm saying. Omolashonrere. And some of those things I can't even, because I have to ask my dad or my sister what it means. Omagenomi. omo tushoku, omo lasherere. And he goes on and on and on, right? And those words, they're deep Yoruba words. It's kind of like, the best way I can explain it, it's like if you think of if you will, the common language we speak now compared to Shakespeare. So those languages are so deep. The Yoruba language is so deep that you need an interpreter. But anyway, so yeah, when I say I guess I can call them nicknames. Your beingness artist, your transformational agent, your transformational artist, your soul whisperer, your metaphysical rebel. It's me. I really do feel in this moment that I'm speaking to something deep. It's like I'm waking my own self up. So I'm getting now that it's not even for you, it's for me to remember who I am. Oh, I like that. So just bear with me while I blow some smoke, some spiritual smoke off my own rear end so I can expand and grow. You gotta expand and grow, and you gotta blow the smoke, the smoke of transformation. Oh boy, oh God, I love it. Being you is a journey back to yourself. It is a process of creating and recreating yourself. We get to create ourselves in every moment, and we also get to recreate ourselves in every moment. So there might be things in the past or an experience that you had that you judge and you want to, or you struggle with it actually, but you can change how you see it. You can change your mind. You can take actions to recreate yourself, to redefine yourself, to restore your life. When you restore your life, you're renewed. So we do have the power. We do have the power. We do have the power. We have the power. We have the power. We have the power. I just need to keep saying that, and I'm saying it to myself too. We have the power. I have the power. We have the power. I have the power. And when we really get that we have the power, and even if we don't get that we have the power, because we say we don't get it because we don't feel it, but we know that is true. We know that is true because we feel it on a deeper level. We take actions that are in alignment with our powerful self. Our powerful self. When we take actions in alignment with the spiritual truth about us, we will know what we know. We will know that we are powerful. We will know that we are successful. We will know that we are the love that we're looking for, the divine love, the agape love. What we're looking for from another when we're looking for another to love us, be it romantic or platonic relationship. We're just looking to connect with love, and sometimes we look to others so stressfully because we have allowed ourselves to be disconnected from the love that we are. And sometimes we sit still enough and we can sense it, we can feel it. Sometimes you have to take action. You have to take action based on what you know to be true about yourself, even if the world of effects is saying something else. The world of appearance is telling you, no, that's not so. And you say, and so it is. I am powerful, and so it shall be. I am successful. Amen. I share. It is done. It is done. When we live from that, something else happens. As spiritual beings having a human experience. Woo! I am on fire. I'm telling you. We have to affirm ourselves. We have to do the speak our own oriki. We have to praise ourselves. We have to love ourselves. We have to lift ourselves up so we can navigate this human experience, this physical plane. There are so many beliefs, so many ideas, so many thoughts that are out there that has been thought, that have been planted, that has been spread, that you are not powerful, that you need someone else or something else or someplace else in order to experience your power, your success, the love that you are, your true essence. This journey, this spiritual journey, calls for you to slow down and catch up with your blessings. Slow down and hear the still small voice. Slow down and get naked. The best things happens in nakedness, because in your nakedness you are exposed. In your nakedness you might feel embarrassment. And when you're feeling embarrassed, that's great. You either can cover up or you can sit in that place of being embarrassed, and then you find yourself walking through a space, an energetic portal, and you realize, wait a minute, everybody is naked under their clothing. Everybody has secrets that they're hiding. I guess that's what's called a secret, right? Everybody has secrets. Everybody has things that they're struggling with. Everybody is fighting their own battle. Everyone is carrying their own burden, and they think their burden is the heaviest. So I am really not that special. I am not really that different. I am no more better than them or less than them. We're all going through and growing through this journey of life. So why don't I just get naked and really see myself? And in the spirit of nakedness, I want to say happy Thanksgiving for my listeners in the United States. Tomorrow? No, not tomorrow. Well, it will be. Well, it depends on when I publish this. But I usually publish maybe that's what happened. I published the podcast on Wednesday, and Thursday, the 28th, November 28th, is Thanksgiving 2019. The fourth Thursday of the month. No, the first Thursday in November. There you go. The fourth Thursday in November is always Thanksgiving. Every year. Oh boy. I had to go through a lot of sorting out in my mind to get to what I'm trying to say. So anyway, happy Thanksgiving. And if you don't actually recognize that day or don't celebrate on that day, because of what you know about the story behind the story of Thanksgiving, I invite you not to throw the baby out with the bathwater and recognize Thanksgiving is a spiritual practice. So be thankful no matter what. You can be thankful for where you are, how you are. You can be thankful for the fact that you're aware of what happens in the past and the conscious choices that you are making to correct the past and the present so that you can create a different future for yourself. That is worth being grateful for. And in gratitude, we can be grateful for the things that we know, the things that has happened, and we must get to a point where we are grateful just because. Because there's so much that we don't see, there's so much that we don't know, there's so much that is happening, there's so much that we're protected from. Life. You can never fully understand its mysteries. Some you might catch a glimpse and understand. Oh, I see why that is. I can't really kind of scientifically break it down, but something in me, I can sense it. I can see why that is the way it is. And sometimes it's not even about understanding. It's just accepting what is. Accepting what is. I've had to do a lot of that, and I'm still doing a lot of that. And It's not always easy. I don't know about anybody else, but whew, this thing called life is massaging my butt. It's helping me stay grounded. This is episode 19. And the topic for today is, if you want to change your life, get naked. Get naked. If you want to change your life, get naked. Because in getting naked, you return to yourself, the capital S self. And it is a process. And we'll talk more about that. It's funny, at the beginning, as I was preparing, I was feeling like, well, this is going to be a short podcast. A short episode, I mean. But I don't know. We'll see. Because I am coming to you nakedly in more ways than I can explain, in more ways that I feel like it's not really necessary. If you feel it, you feel it. If you sense it, you sense it. But just take my words for it. I am coming to you in a very naked way. Partly because that's the call. That's the inspiration. And secondly, it's like I'm dropping in even deeper into speaking from the topic, the title. Because there are things in my life that I struggle with. And there are things in my life that I struggle with that I have now accepted. And there are things in my life that I used to struggle with that is like, oh, wow, really? I can't even believe that used to bother me. And what I know for sure is the more I am willing to confront, and not in a confrontational kind of way. You don't confront in a confrontational kind of way, like, I am going to deal with the shit that I can't deal with, that is bugging me. No. I mean, then sometimes it may be that's what's called for. You may have to just be confrontational with the mindset, the belief system, the idea, something that you hold true about yourself that is not true. And you're saying, you know what? Fuck it. This is not my reality anymore. It might be confronting somebody and saying, you know what? I am done with you. Confronting them could mean confronting them literally. Confronting them could be you just speaking the words out to the ethers. There are many ways that leads you to your path, that will lead you to your answer. And I know, based on my journey, and as cliche as this might sound, love is the answer. Love is the answer. There's some quotes that I want to share with you today. They speak to what is in my heart, and they speak to my heart. So there is this wisdom, this quote, this truth from Lao Tzu. And it reads, being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. Lao Tzu. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. So whether the love is coming in or going out, you are going to benefit. So if the best you can do is to receive the love, open yourself up. If you've learned to give the love others deeply, keep doing it. And now I'm going to challenge you to put aside for a minute the idea that, well, I know how to love people deeply, but I don't know how to love myself. Well, the truth is, there's only one of us. You cannot let it out without feeling it. You cannot express it without feeling it. So you're expressing it. You're loving others is you loving yourself. Giving and receiving are one and the same. In this case, the only thing that needs to change is how you're thinking about it. Your interpretation. Your interpretation matters. If you can allow yourself to just accept that as you love others deeply, it will give you courage. It gives you courage. Just accept that. That changes everything. So in this loving space, you're able to allow the erroneous thoughts, the false beliefs, the limited thinking. You can allow them to come to the top. I did a video last week, Wednesday, actually, a week ago. And so if you're friends with me on Facebook, you've either seen it or you can go check it out. It's also on YouTube. And I think I called it you want something like, I'll check it. Actually, let me do it now. Okay. Get naked, change the world. That's the title. So you can find that on YouTube. Get naked, change the world. And change the world is really changing your world. Because if you're focused, there are those of us who are saying we want to change the world. There are those of us who would say, I only want to change myself. I want to change my world. It really doesn't matter. Truth is a double-edged sword. Love is a double-edged sword. It cuts both ways. Just use the love. It doesn't matter. Your thoughts are not private. When you think a thought, someone else is picking up on the thought, consciously or unconsciously. So, however you want to do it, just get naked. Get naked. What do I mean by get naked? So the video was talking about what it means to get naked, which was inspired by a conversation with a friend of mine. And she was telling me about how she is being in her romantic relationship, where she shared her fears, her worries, she was just vulnerable and authentic and real with her beloved, with her partner. And he listened. He listened to what she had to say. And she was just sharing the story with me. And it just inspired me. And then, there was a part in the message that she sent to me that there's so much going on in the world. You can watch the video. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about that now. And basically, she was encouraging me to continue writing my book and get it out there because the world needs what I have to say or how I see it. And as I was sharing with her, I talked to her how affirming it was to hear about the relationship that she's having with her beloved and how that's what's called for. And it's always been called for, but I think now we're more ready to be naked emotionally, naked mentally, naked to share ourselves, whether the person we're sharing with is going to accept it, receive it or not. The responsibility is on me, is on you to get naked. And you listen to your own internal guidance system to discover or to identify, to find out how naked you want to get. You may just want to take off your hat, your gloves, your coat, your shirt, your underwear, your pants, your trousers, each one at a time, or just one of those, your coat, your gloves, your whatever, what I just said, one of those. But you may want to just take everything off. Of course, I'm talking metaphorically, okay? Not literally. You can do that if you want to, but I'm talking metaphorically. Your internal guidance system will tell you. And it's not easy. It is scary as fuck. But the more you do it, the more empowered you are to do it. And if it scares you, good. that means you're willing to grow. And if it's easy for you to do, you've obviously practiced it over a certain amount of times. Because to reveal the truth of who you are, your fears, your dreams, your plan for the future, what you're struggling with, mistakes of the past, judgments that you have about yourself, about others, about your judgments that you have about your brother, your sister, maybe even about your children. Like really thoughts that you have that you think if someone hears this thought, they would never be your friend again. They would never love you again. They would never want nothing to do with you. They will see you less than. When you can allow yourself to do that, when you're willing to do that, what you get in return is more of you, more of who you are. And by doing that, you create space. You open a space for love to reveal itself, for love to show up, divine love, unconditional love, agape love, whatever you want to call it, the love that transcends romance, the love that tells you, I do not accept what you're doing or how you're doing it. I don't agree with you, but I love you anyway. I love you because you are another me. You are me. I am you. We are one. I love you. Now, what I'm about to say is more from a human interpretation. Because love, true love is without condition. But I want to drop it down. I love you because I know loving you is loving myself. When we buy into, when we align with, when we accept the idea, the truth of unconditional love, we can love because we now know that loving you is loving myself. So you might actually find out that loving someone else is a selfish act. Woo, hold on a minute. Breathe that in if that makes you feel some kind of way. I did a show many years ago and I called it Service is a Selfish Act. And even when that came, when I heard it, when I downloaded it, I was like, ooh, I can't say that. But of course, I'm a metaphysical rebel. I don't mind going there like that. I'm an Aries. Ooh, yes. We're just going to go to battle. And before the show, one of my listeners said, I don't like that title. And I said, yeah, I understand. Listen to the show and tell me if you still feel the same. And she probably did or not. It doesn't matter. Because one, I am accountable to spirit. I listen to my internal guidance system. And when I am told to share something, I will, because I know the consequence of not doing that. Because when I don't, I doubt myself on even little things. Anyway, that's a whole different conversation. So speaking of nakedness, I got a quote for you. This is a quote by Rob Bell. He said, "It's easy to take off your clothes and have sex. People do it all the time. But opening up your soul to someone, letting them into your spirit, thoughts, fears, future, hopes, and dreams, that is being naked." I remember coming across this quote. It was a long time ago, at least maybe 3 years. I felt every word. It's like, ooh, it's easy to take off your clothes and have sex. People do it all the time. But opening up your soul to someone, letting them into your spirit, thoughts, fears, future, hopes, and dreams, that is being naked. And why am I saying, if you want to change the world, get naked, or get naked, change the world? Because your shift in consciousness shifts the collective consciousness. And even if you say, I don't know, how is that even possible? Guess what? Your shift in consciousness shifts how you see the world. By loving yourself enough, by accepting yourself enough to reveal the deepest, darkest secrets of yours, opens you up to more love. Somehow you start to feel more courageous, more compassionate, empathic to yourself. You're a little bit more bolder. You step into the consciousness of holy boldness. And you show up in the world with more love in your heart, with more love in your voice, with more love in your presence. And when you do that, you know you can't help but change the people you come in contact with. You leave them with something and then they carry that forward. I love it when I go to stores or talk to people on the phone, customer service, and they ask me how am I doing, and I tell them, and I say, how are you doing? And sometimes they say, nobody's asked me how am I doing today. And it's like, wow, really? And I can feel their energy shift, just how they're feeling about themselves and how much they appreciate that. And for me, that's a selfish act. I feel good. I generally ask people how they're doing anyway. So it's a natural way of being for me. But when I ask the customer service rep, how are you doing? And they feel it and they know that I'm genuinely asking, it shifts something in them. And then maybe they might just be a little bit more available for the next customer, be more compassionate. They can listen differently, as opposed to they talk to you, you piss them off, and the next customer calls in, and next customer's sort of dealing with the same issue you had issue with, and you were so mad. The customer service rep got mad. Like, I'm tired of these customers. Our responsibility is to shine our light. And it's not always easy to do that. But through your spiritual practice, your daily spiritual practice is you strengthening your spiritual muscles. And when you do it on a regular basis, on a daily basis, what you need, let me put it that way, what you need when you need it will show up. Speaking of nakedness, real naked, actually. Let's get real naked. So last week, I knew I wanted to record an episode, and I was preparing myself to do it, but I had such a busy week. And then Wednesday I just didn't have time. But you know what's funny? I actually forgot that I didn't record an episode until later on Wednesday night. And for a minute, I was like, oh shit. I didn't. And I just said, it's okay. It's okay. I had to be the parent to myself rather than be that little boy that wants to say, oh my God, they're going to judge me. They won't love me. I don't know why I'm doing my voice like this, but as you know, I always do it. I can't help it. I had to be the parent to say, son, it's okay. People ain't going to die. Well, people are going to die. But if they die, it's not because you didn't record an episode. Life happens. There's enough there. If they really miss you, they can go and get other stuff. And I had to really just bring myself back to the center. It was but a moment. And that was good for me too, because in the past, I would have been so hard on myself, making apologies and trying to do it on Thursday and release it on Friday. No. I had to be compassionate with myself. Like, you have a lot going on. And don't stress yourself trying to bring peace to other people. Why stress myself in the name of peace for others? Everybody will find what they need when they need it. If it's not from me, from somebody else. If it's not from somebody else, it's from me. If it's not from me, it's from themselves. That's just, life will never leave you wanting. So I digress. I don't even know how I got on that topic. But anyway, yeah, I was being naked, but that was a point I was making. So we'll keep it moving. In your nakedness, in confessing your truth, confessing as in just speaking your shortcomings, your mistakes, your fears, your doubts, not hiding behind words or doing spiritual bypassing. Or I'm going to be positive. Sometimes the most positive thing you can do is put words to your deepest fear. Is put words to the negative thoughts that you've been entertaining. To release the energy, to release that energy of negativity by speaking the words, by speaking it, by confessing it. You release it. And when you release it, you get to love yourself. You get to love others deeply. And you get to receive the love. So you're feeling strength to move forward and courage to step into the unknown. And after a while, being naked may not be so scary, but you just feel a little bit more courageous to get a little bit more naked, to take off another piece of clothing, just one at a time. Because we've been, I want to say cultured. I don't know why I want to say that. We've been cultured. We've been conditioned to hide and put layers upon layers upon layers upon layers to protect our vulnerable self. And your strength is in your vulnerability. Your strength is in that vulnerable self. And it is, she is, he is so powerful. Getting naked is a returning back to that vulnerable self that is powerful, that is loving, it is gentle, and the gentleness is not weak. The gentleness is powerful. The kindness is powerful. So even that idea of people taking your kindness for weakness, if anybody takes your kindness for weakness, that's not your problem. They don't understand. You don't have to convince people that your kindness is for weakness. It's not weakness. You don't have to convince them because you know where you're coming from. Because your kindness is self-generated. You're being kind because you want to. And they can come back for more if they want, and you can say no. And you can say not today. That doesn't mean you're not kind. Being gentle doesn't mean you don't speak the truth. Being gentle doesn't mean you don't say not today. That is not happening. I am not accepting that. You can gently express yourself. You've heard me say love is not passive. We think love means we just let people get away with doing dumb shit. And today I just want to be explicit. I don't know why. And I think it's this thing about nakedness. To tell you the truth, I have been kind of working and dropping, not be so effing and blinding and essing and all that. And here we are. That's all I got to say. Sometimes people do dumb shit. And you got to call them on their dumb shit because you need to call them on their dumb shit. And you still love them. Now that's the thing that you need to deconstruct. It's like, what does that mean? How can someone do dumb shit? I call them on their dumb shit and I still love them. That's your work. It's the application of unconditional love. This makes me want to go into, I'm going to forgive but I won't forget. That's not forgiveness. And if where you are right now is, I'm going to forgive but I won't forget, so be it. But there comes a time when you forgive, that you are no longer attached to not forgetting. because you've outgrown that circumstance. You've outgrown that situation. It's like saying, here's a good analogy. Think of a pair of shoes that you had when you were younger. And maybe it's a pair of shoes that was bought for you that you didn't like, but your parents made you wear it to school. And you're saying, oh, I'm going to forgive my parent for letting me, for making me wear those pair of shoes. But I'm never going to wear those shoes again. I'm never going to wear hello? Of course you're not. Because you can't. Especially knowing that you've outgrown it. Your feet ain't going to fit. I mean, there is logic to spirituality. There's some things that's beyond logic, but you can be very logical about this spiritual path. You don't have to get unconscious. Actually, being spiritual means to be conscious, to become consciously aware of what is happening and seeing things for what they are and not pretend it doesn't exist, but seeing it for what they are and also being able to say, you know what? I don't like what I see. I know it's there. It has no power over me. Walking the spiritual path is coming alive, shining the light on people's dumb shit and your dumb shit. And it's also about getting naked, taking off the cloak, taking off the bullshit, not hiding the truth about you, not hiding what is unique about you. Being willing to do one thing that is in alignment with why you're on this planet. Being willing to experiment with a spiritual truth that touched you so deeply, but your current circumstances looks like it won't allow you to practice it, but you allow yourself to try just a little bit. Maybe talk to somebody that you love about it. Maybe go to work with some young people, volunteer your time and practice it. But don't do it with people that are close to you, family members, because they are your greatest teachers. But you keep practicing enough, and one day you have to come and show that. Not show them for them to approve it or disapprove of it, but you're showing it because you have no choice but to be that. It's all about being naked. If you don't like what you see in the world, keep getting undressed. Undress yourself emotionally. Undress yourself mentally. Undress yourself spiritually. Speak up. Let people know who you are. Let people see you. And the ones who are awake, they see you anyway, and they will call you out. They will call you out when you're trying to do what others are doing because you think that's the way it's supposed to be. They'll call you out for trying to be like somebody else. The answer to everything you're going through and growing through doesn't exist outside in the world. You can use what you hear, what you're hearing on this episode from other content creators, from other thought leaders, from other leaders, spiritual teachers, healers, medium, whatever. From the children in your neighborhood, from a sign on the road. Because answers come to us in so many ways. But the real answer comes from within you. And it is unique. And only you can walk that path. And next, as I get ready to release this conversation, I want to share a wisdom, a thought, a quote from Marianne Williamson's book, A Return to Love. She said, "The reason so many of us are so obsessed with becoming stars is because we are not yet starring in our own lives. The cosmic spotlight isn't pointed at you. It radiates from within you. The reason so many of us are so obsessed with becoming stars is because we are not yet starring in our own lives. The cosmic spotlight isn't pointed at you. It radiates from within you. Tell your truth, get naked, and let the cosmic spotlight shine from within you. The cosmic spotlight within you will make way for you, will make a path for you, will clear the way for you. It will clear the way even before you start the journey. It will heal you. It will wake you up. It will show you the way, even when you are going through dark times. Whether dark times is health issues, financial issues, relationship issues. We're all going through it. Every man, every woman thinks her burden is the heaviest. And yeah, it does feel heavy. And if you feel like, well, this spiritual mumbo jumbo, if you want to call it that, the spiritual principles, the spiritual woo woo, it doesn't address my issue. Great. That's one thing you're clear about. So go do the thing that you know will address your issue. That's how you're going to find the way. And either way, you're not going to lose. You're just going to learn. You're either going to learn, well, I was wrong, that I needed to tap into my heart. I needed to align with spiritual principles in order to access the solution, the answers to what I'm going through and growing through. Or you learn that the other way that you think wasn't a spiritual path, that is not a spiritual way, that is not a spiritual solution, is actually a spiritual solution. And then you're reminded there is no spot where God is not. So when you get naked, you are already protected. You're protected by the love. You're protected by your love for yourself to be true, to be vulnerable. I am not telling you that people won't judge you. If I do, slap me. I wish you would. Slap me spiritually. I'm not saying people are going to accept your nakedness. Some people will accept it and some won't. But whether they accept your nakedness or not, the question is, will you accept yourself while you're standing butt naked in your own truth? Will you accept yourself in your nakedness? Whatever that looks like. Will you create space to be gentle with yourself? Even though you've been messing up over and over and over, you kept going back to a relationship that you said you're done with. And your family, your parents, your brothers, your siblings are saying, don't do it. Your friends are saying you're crazy. But you keep going back and you don't know why. You're feeling ashamed and you can just stand in the mirror of your own consciousness and say to yourself, I don't know why I keep going back. I don't know why I expose myself to things like this. I don't know why I don't have the handle on this issue. I don't know why I'm still here, but I need help. The path to yourself, the path to recreating yourself, the path to creating yourself is telling your own truths, telling your own story. And telling your story means getting naked. Get naked. Get naked. Get naked for your soul. Get naked and reveal yourself to yourself. Thank you for listening to another episode of Being You, the journey back to yourself. I have had fun getting naked with you. I am energized. I am feeling so much more grounded. I think what I wanted to say earlier that I don't think I said somewhere along the line, I think that's when I went off on a tangent, is I didn't feel like recording this episode. It's like, I'm not feeling like it. I wanted to, but I wasn't feeling it. But I knew I needed to. So I came to the microphone, made some little notes, like opening and ending to keep it consistent. And then create space for me to share what wants to come up, which is what you experienced. And I feel completely different from how I felt at the beginning. I was dealing with some stuff, and I was like, I just want to just stay in bed and read or listen to Abraham and listen to other teachers inspire me. And Spirit say, no, you got to inspire yourself. You have it. You know it. Use it. Apply it. Get naked. So thank you for getting naked with me. And nakedly, I ask you to subscribe to my podcast, to rate this episode. Rate the podcast. I guess you can rate. I don't know if you can rate the episode. I don't know. Figure it out if you want to. Leave a feedback. I truly appreciate that. It means so much to me when people share with me how what I'm sharing, teaching, offering is landing for them, how it's changing their lives. Someone reached out to me recently about a daily thought that I wrote, and she just said, thank you, this is so on time. And I tell you, when you do something from your heart, when you saying yes to your life, when you're crafting and manufacturing, if you will, and creating your own path, and willing to be ridiculed if that's what happened, willing to just put yourself out there, and the things that you did, that you put out there, it touched somebody's life. It changes how they see themselves. It changes how they embrace the moment, or changes how they're dealing with the pain that they're experiencing, and they thank you for it. I'm telling you, it heals you. It will heal you. It heals you. It's affirming. So yes, feel free to leave a feedback. And if there's something that, maybe something I said that you disagree with, let me know. Email me. Go to my website, lifecoachade.com. And if you think, okay, well, I think you got that wrong, or I disagree with you, whatever, let's get naked together. Lifecoachade.com. You can send me a message and I can address it. I may even bring you on my podcast to talk about it. So, yeah. If you've always wanted to create your own podcast and you're like, I don't know if I have anything to say. Hey, this could be an opportunity. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but if you come correct with your disagreement, we can set an appointment so we can show up to be about the business of love. I'm out. I gotta go. I love you. I bless you. I appreciate you. And I thank God for you. I'm feeling so fired up now. I don't want to end this. And John Stringer is here once again to welcome us home to ourselves. Your welcome here is the theme song. Check out John's work. JohnStringerInc.com. JohnStringerInc.com. I know I've said it and I'll say it again. I love you. I bless you. I appreciate you. And I truly, truly, truly thank God for you. Peace and blessings.